Hello, my name is Trevor Hindman. I'm making this video for Western Oregon's administrative program application. First question is, why do you want to serve as a school administrator? Um, Growing up, I feel like I've always been a natural leader. I grew up playing multiple sports and had a pretty big group of friends, and it just always kind of came naturally to me. People seem to follow me kind of naturally as well. So it's always kind of felt a little bit like a calling, which I think has really led into me becoming a teacher as well, leader of your classroom. It's came into me being, coaching for over 10 years now, the, leader of young men through different sports. And at Central High School, I'm also our Power Peers Advisor, which is a leadership class, going into my fourth year of running that program. So leadership is something that I would really say comes naturally to me. But a school administrator, I feel like the big thing is, wanting to put systems in place for teachers, staff members, and students alike to be successful. Unfortunately, over the last 5 years at my high school, we've had a lot of administrative turnover, and so I've felt what that turnover and lack of consistency in systems can do overall, and so I really just want to be able to make the impact that I feel like I've been able to make in my classroom and in my department at a larger scale. So that would be my response for the first question. What have I done over the last 5 years? I think I've, walked the walk. It's easy for people to say, well, I wish this was different. I wish, I could change this. If there's ever been a time where I felt like something needed to be addressed or changed at my school, within my department, or my classroom, I feel like I've dealt with it. I've, in a professional and appropriate manner, brought it up through the chain of commands, and have looked to just make things better, whether it's in my classroom between a couple of students, whether it's a classroom culture as a whole, whether it's something that's going on, in my department, or, something that I'm seeing overall within my school. Another thing that I've done, the coaching aspect's been a big thing, where you're really involved with a lot of different students. In a football program, we have, around 90 different athletes, ranging from freshmen to seniors. Also, a big thing that, I talked about in my first response is the Power Peers class that I do. That originally started, it was kind of asked of me to take on. I took it on, and I had 13 students that were in the class. I would say 5 of which probably fit what I felt the mold of a leader was. And going into my fourth year now, I had 59 applicants, and we'll be taking 35 of those 59 applicants. And the class is super involved in our community. We're a PBIS framework model of a class, and so really put in and created originally to kind of help as a system within our school of school leaders. We run our new student orientation. We put on a big culture week in early September to celebrate the diversity of our school and our community. We're involved at our elementary schools. I think each year my students get roughly 50 hours of community service at our elementary schools. We've helped out at our middle school in town as well. I think those things, and just, having that mindset of service, and really, pushing that into the students, are things that have really helped me kind of, feel that I'm ready and looking to, build something bigger for an entire school. And lastly, third question, how will you as a school administrator achieve equity for all students, especially those who historically have been marginalized by the school system? I think it's intentionality. anything that you want to do, you have to be intentional about it. You have to identify these groups of students, and you need to, from day one, see what you can do to help close those gaps. It's all fine and dandy on paper. Hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. But you got to go to the students. You got to go to the teachers that are working with those students. You got to go to the community members and figure out what it is that the school has done to really miss that mark. And my responses, if you read through them, everything comes down to trust. Everything comes down, and that's the foundation of relationships. People talk, oh, what's the most important aspect of teaching or people? And I think the cliche is relationships. Well, I think it's much deeper than that. Every relationship at its foundation has to have trust. And so I think you have to work to rebuild the trust with those marginalized groups and those marginalized students. I'm sure every community, it's going to be a different group. But it's putting the trust in. It's finding out what it is you can do to rebuild that trust. Thank you for your time.